If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
So they say Captain Hammer's become a crusader. Political, he's cleaning up the streets. About time.
So they say that it's real love, so romantic. He signed this. So they say we'll have blankets and beds we can open by Monday. Thanks to you.
Thanks to me.
It's the perfect story. So they say.
A hero leading the way.
Hammer's call to
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw.
I'm John Lein, and the hammer is my penis.
Nice. God damn it. That's all I was expecting, John. That's all I wanted from you, and you fucking nailed it.
You're welcome.
And we are joined this week by Tim Burns, who I spoke with a while ago about Freaked, in which he was the co-writer.
Yes, I was.
And joining us again, Russ Linton, author as well. Or author also, I guess.
I'm not going to nitpick the grammar here. All right, come on. I'm not an editor. I'm a writer. All right.
No, that's my job, and I got it wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm back. I don't know why you guys keep inviting me, but I'm back.
Hey, we keep inviting you because in the hopes that maybe someday you'll get to watch something with us that's good.
Oh yeah. Well, no, hey, we accomplished that today. I'm telling you.
So before we talk a little bit about what we're here to talk about, Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, is there anything you guys have been watching this week, starting with Tim?
Well, I've pretty much just been locked in a Doctor Who marathon with my daughter, who's 13, and we only recently discovered the sort of new incarnation of Doctor Who that started in 2005, I think. So we're trying to catch up with the rest of the world, and we've been... that's sort of her main homework. I told her to disregard school, and we're mostly concentrating on trying to catch up with Doctor Who. We're up to the 11th Doctor now, which is exciting stuff.
Have you enjoyed it so far?
I have. I'm especially as a Canadian, I'm always on the eye for, and I've worked on a lot of shows where you're dealing with a non-American sized budget and trying to figure out how to do action, adventure, sci-fi stuff without action, adventure, sci-fi money. And the British are pretty good at, hey, let's get trapped in a closet for an hour and a half and make some drama out of that. So I think, they do their big episodes, but generally I think they do a great job of riding the line between financially responsible and watchably exciting.
No, I totally agree. I know John is not a huge fan of Doctor Who. Much to my chagrin, and I blame that on the people that told John what episodes to watch.
Yes.
Ooh.
So
sounds like by not a big fan, you mean hates it with a passion.
I understand its value to nerd culture. Put it that way.
Very diplomatic of you.
Wow, yeah, that was very diplomatic.
If John weren't being diplomatic, his response would be, "It sucks," because we've had this conversation without diplomacy multiple times.
Yeah, but he watches Castle, so really, can we just?
Ooh, ouch!
I watched Castle for Nathan Fillion. Okay, it's not my fault.
For the man love.
Okay,
come on.
He's got that man.
There's a fake writer that sells like way more books than me. So
yeah,
that's really fucking disappointing. It really is.
Spin-offs.
What about you, Russ?
Watching. Yeah. I've been staring at a big white space, hoping words show up there and make some kind of sense. That's what I've been watching. So yeah, just staring at the screen, fingers on the keyboard, like, okay, come on, something will happen. But yeah, I haven't really been watching a whole lot lately. I guess for stress relief, last night, I'm into UFC. I watched Big Country get his fat ass beaten down by Josh Barnett. So that was pretty.
I would not have pegged you as a UFC guy at all.
No?
No.
Yeah, maybe it's a little weird. I don't know. But yeah, I've got a black belt in Taekwondo. And I'm too old to have people like beat the hell out of me. So I just watch other people get beat up, and it satisfies an urge.
Fair enough. What about you, John?
Let's see. What did I watch?
Dino Trucks all the way through again.
No, I already watched that once. I don't need to watch it again. Suicide Theory is an interesting show on Netflix. It's like this guy tries to kill himself and then can't get it right. So he hires a hitman to do it, and when the hitman doesn't get it right, he decides he's immortal, and so he and the hitman have entire conversations, and the hitman will just like have an interesting conversation with the main character, and then get up to leave, and then turn around and put like 4 bullets in the main character and walk off, and the main character will wake up in the hospital. That's a weird movie.
Wow.
And I watched Alien Outpost, which was actually way cooler than I expected it to be.
Does it have Dean Cain in it?
I don't know off the top of my head who that is.
That just sounds like a movie Dean Cain should be in. If you know anything about who Dean Cain is, you'll get that joke.
Can I just ask, like, did anybody watch the new Heroes reboot?
Oh, I did watch that. I tried to block that out.
Yeah, I watched it and it sort of erased itself from my memory. Yeah.
Good. No, that's the best thing. It was bad. It was really bad. I kept hoping that Hero would show up and give me my 2 hours back, but it never happened. So
I just watched it in shock that they kept making the same mistake that killed the old version. I thought if anything, they'll try something different, but the old show just turned into, it was like the Avengers, only if there were like 900 Avengers.
Right.
Or like I called it to my wife, the Fantastic 400. They just introducing new characters with new superpowers as if that's what
I know.
And more of.
And it starts with this like flash forward, backward, lateral, sideways flashback thing, and I was just like, what is going on? I wasn't really lost. But
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster. You know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week, and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
I was like, this is way too much at the beginning. Yeah. And then the most horrible thing was none of these, evolved humans, these Evos, were more powerful than the 2 guys with guns. Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's so horrible.
Evos? Yeah. Sounds like some Minority Report precog shit.
No. It's Toyota's new super efficient eco car. That's the Toyota
Evo.
Did anybody get a chance to watch the new episode of The Muppets?
I kind of wanted to because I used to write for. That was where I started. Was writing for the Jim Henson Hour was my first gig, and I know Bill Prady, who's running the show. And I haven't seen it yet. And I've seen a lot of the reviews and clips, and I'm kind of warily hopeful.
I was about to say, yeah, I have kind of stayed away from it for the time being because, I mean, it is being panned.
Really?
Pretty heavily. Well, some people are like, why does it have adult themes in it?
Because the people that grew up on the Muppets are adults now?
I get that, but some people don't. And I'm letting it go a couple episodes and see kind of what the reaction to the other episodes are, as opposed to, just a gut reaction to the first episode.
The other thing too is like people, like, after Disney got involved, the Muppets got kind of neutered a bit and much more capital F family, capital E entertainment. And Henson himself was never, this was never necessarily a kids show. And when I started on the Jim Henson Hour 25, 30 years ago, I kept pitching this idea. He kept saying we want to do something different with them. And I kept pitching, how about we do something where the Muppets bleed? And the look on Jim's face when I would pitch, let's do something where the Muppets bleed, was priceless, because he was considering it. But their motto, Jerry Jewell was the head writer. His motto was pain is funny. I mean, not his only motto, but that would come up a lot. Like, pain is the key to a lot of Muppet comedy. Let's throw Gonzo into a wall again.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's any, what bugs me is these people saying, oh, this is not what Jim Henson would have wanted. And I think that's completely wrong. Whether it's what the audience wants because they want the Muppets to be friendlier, I don't know. But I certainly don't think there's anything wrong with, the Muppet dogma. I don't think there's anything counter. I wrote a bit once for the old Henson Hour where it was like this. It was Dog City was this my first full-length script, and it was a big dog gangster movie that Jim wanted to do. But there was a trailer for it with the stunt man in the dog movie was a cat. And it was a cat dressed up as a dog, and they would just beat the crap out of it and throw it off of buildings, shoot it, and smack it with a shovel. And again, it was just a lot of pain and torture. And everybody loved it. It was great. But it didn't bleed.
Well, see, and I just I really don't understand that sentiment of the Muppets need to be for kids.
Yeah.
Because that to me, I mean, we're not saying like go Meet the Feebles route of things.
Yeah.
Which is like a really nuts ass puppet movie. But the Muppets, whenever, I mean, because I have, and I'm assuming John does as well, the Muppets couple first seasons on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
It's not inherently for kids.
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah. I agree. And I do think you've got a point with the way it changed over the years. I mean, some of the movies that came out later, they were kind of more geared towards kids, and it was puppets making jokes, and every now and then there'd be a little slice of adult humor. But yeah, the old school original show, you're right, it wasn't like that. So maybe this is people who are taking that middle ground of the Muppets that was kind of more recent, and they're watching this, new development and going, wait a minute, that's not right. But in actuality, it's kind of more return to a little closer to the roots, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's bits in the first season of the Muppet Show where Kermit and the female celebrity guest make jokes about how they want to have sex.
Right.
I would watch that.
That sounds like a Chuck Tingle
just
book,
just for the logistics of it.
Exactly.
Just for the logistics.
I had one of my favorite notes. I wrote a bit for the old Henson Hour, and there was a line about, it was just a stage direction. Kermit is up to his belly button in garbage. And I got a note back from NBC Standards and Practices that said, Kermit, being a frog, is oviparous and would have no belly button.
Oh man!
Nice.
That word stuck.
They fucking went there.
That word has stuck in my head for 25 years. Oviparous, just because.
Don't you know, sir, that frogs don't have belly buttons?
And don't you know, ma'am, it's a stage direction.
Oh man. As for me watching stuff, I haven't really been watching anything. I've just been kind of gearing up for next month's deluge of horror movies that we're going to have to watch. So
you say going to have to watch, so it sounds like you're not looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's almost as if you didn't pick them all.
I didn't pick them for myself. Let's put it that way. Yeah, no, we have a really big month planned next month, so I'm actually really looking forward to it. We have a lot of really cool interviews with some really cool people as well.
Just so many interviews.
I'm just gonna tear the crap out of American Werewolf in Paris. Come on,
Tim, I wouldn't do that. Unless you want to be a guest on that podcast and you can talk about it with me. I'm not going to.
Tom and I would probably both, because we still, the first draft was great. Everything after that we hate. So.
Actually, American Werewolf in London was on my list, but no one picked it because I guess apparently everybody's seen it.
Wow.
So.
And I should just mention my birthday is Halloween. So, there should be some shout out to me on that.
Shout out to my boy Tim.
Yes.
Happy birthday. Oh, Jesus.
Just do a birthday podcast over American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
Happy birthday to you. We'll do a podcast just for you, and I will email it to you on your birthday as my birthday gift to you.
That would be truly the first horror birthday I've had then.
Oh, shit. Well, let's wrap up musical month here with the last musical of the month. It's Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. It was never released on TV. It was never released as a movie. It was released as an internet short in 3 parts during the writers' strike of 2007, 2008. It stars Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, Felicia Day, Simon Helberg, who would go on to make millions of dollars as a character on Big Bang Theory. And it's directed by Joss Whedon. The IMDb synopsis of the film is: an aspiring supervillain must balance his career and his pursuit of a beautiful do-gooder.
For every day, there is a night. For every world, there is an underworld. And for every hero, there's this guy.
What?
Starting with Tim. Tim, was this the first time you'd seen it, and what are your initial thoughts?
Yes, it was the first time I'd seen it. I'd heard a lot about it. I'm also a musician and composer. I moonlight as a failed musician composer, so that colors my judgment in that I liked it overall. I thought it was clever and fun, but I thought the music fell short and was kind of a solid B- all the way through. And I thought as evil goes, there wasn't enough evil in it. So it did seem like a kind of fun, hey, let's get the family together and come up with a wacky musical, and I've got enough money to shoot my own movie kind of thing. But if someone had sent me that script and said, hey, we're going to do this, my first point would have been, what's the audience? Because it almost feels like it's aimed at second graders, or it's very gloves off kind of, or gloves on, kid gloves, I guess I'm trying to say. It just doesn't get to evil. I wanted it to get darker and nastier, and I wanted the guitars I wanted some death metal songs, and but for what it is, it's pleasant and fun. Is that withering faint criticism or great?
No, I'm curious. I'm curious what Russ's thoughts are, since Tim's are kind of just a little more lukewarm than I was honestly expecting.
I really like it. I mean, this is kind of right up my alley. This is what I like to write about. Not quite the hero, and maybe not quite the bad guy. They're just some person who has aspirations, who gets thrust into this situation that's kind of out of their control. I really enjoyed this back when it came out. I enjoyed it again when I watched it, to prepare for the interview here and stuff. So, yeah, I liked it. Now, I'm definitely not a music critic, and I'm definitely not a fan of musicals either. This is one of the few that I would sit through.
It helps that it's only 42 minutes long.
Yeah, that too. And I think it's a pretty tight 42 minutes, just as far as the writing goes and the character arc. I don't feel like there were any, wasted scenes or wasted time. It was just one thing after another, hitting one beat after another, and it worked. It worked really well for me. So I enjoyed this.
I'm not going to disagree. I think you did enjoy it.
I know someone who will disagree to some extent. John, what are your thoughts?
I really enjoy pretty much everything about this movie. As a fan of Felicia Day, Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, Simon Helberg, pretty much everybody involved in the movie. I like other stuff that they've been in. I like the writing in it. There's a lot of little jokes that I even just watching it this time, I noticed a joke that I hadn't picked up on before. The characters, I think, are interesting sort of parodies of the standard, superhero cliches. Nathan Fillion's Captain Hammer is technically the good guy, but he's a massive chode. Dr. Horrible is technically the bad guy, but he's the one that everybody connects with because he has that romantic interest thing that a lot of nerds can connect with. I love the character of Moist for the couple scenes that he's in. And the music, while not, I totally agree that there's no point where the music gets particularly complex or super interesting. I think for what the movie is, it works. Because at no point in the movie, Dr. Horrible Billy gets to the point where he's like, okay, I'm going to kill Captain Hammer. But he's still, even then, he's not completely committed to it. And so I think it works with the tone of the film that the music never gets super moody, I think if there was a song that felt like it was ripped out of Repo the Genetic Opera, it would be a little out of place with what the rest of the composition of the film is putting out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would have kind of run counter to the just total cheesiness of the jokes and stuff.
What? Come on! It would have been great if there was a character that showed up and just dismembered Neil Patrick Harris. What are you guys talking about? Or if Neil Patrick Harris just dismembered Captain Hammer, just mercilessly cut him apart to take his organs back. Come on.
Yeah, but there's a problem I have is that one is, and this is like an axe I grind a lot as a musician, is that when people do musicals, they, for some inexplicable reason, still harken back to the kind of 1950s, 60s prototype. And this isn't quite Broadway show tunes stuff, but it is kind of cabaret style Godspell era at best. Mm-hmm. And we've had 40 years of pop music since then. So it mystifies me why people don't update the music to be more current when they write a current musical. And you've got a character who wants to kill somebody or wants to take over the world. We should have some electric guitars there. We should have some big ass rock drums. It feels a little gee, why is he singing a Burt Bacharach song about taking over the world? Burt Bacharach's not the right musical idiom for world domination. So that kind of bugs me. And there's just no, the songs that Felicia has, the female character Penny, are all the same kind of super kind of sappy earnest thing. And they don't quite go far enough to be making a joke of that. They almost are just legitimately earnest and sappy. So I just feel like a missed opportunity. I still think it's quality work. It just feels like one gear short of where it should be to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, I would watch this without the music. I think the script itself would have worked and carried it. I don't know how much the music adds. The more you talk about how off it is, I guess. But it does kind of hold just a very similar tone throughout, and maybe it is a little mismatched. But going back to what you said about maybe the darkness and the character wanting to take over the world, I'm not sure his character really wants to take over the world. He's very apprehensive about it, which makes him a much more interesting, supervillain, I guess, because he's this unsure, do I really want to kill somebody? Supervillain,
Although to me that just made it because it's the sort of comic book. That's why I say grade school. It's that kind of grade school version of evil, capital E, which is I'm evil. I'm going to wear a black cape and stomp around a lot and wear a black hat.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. It's evil, Snidely Whiplash shit.
Yeah, but evil without there's no anger and there's no violence and there's nobody I want to hurt. So really, what kind of evil is that? And I don't think they, even as a character, I don't think they really explored that enough. I feel like his character, that's where it's if this was aimed at people like under 20, I kind of get it. But then when they go jokes like the best joke in it, the hammer is my penis. Great.
Right.
It feels like, okay, they want this to be hipper to an older audience. And that's where I felt like, well, it didn't have the edge, any kind of edge at all, really. It just felt inconsistent to me.
To me, we're talking about, Dr. Horrible not really being evil. And I feel like that's intentional. I mean, he's not supposed to be an actually bad guy. He's just a normal sort of put upon loser, I guess, who then translates that into misdirection.
But he really wants to get into the League of Evil with the bad horse who rules with an iron hoof. So he's
because that's
he getting into the evil club.
I think it's
Tim, you saying that is just fantastic, by the way.
It's just a fact.
But I just feel like that's what he focuses on and what he wants because he's misdirected. Because then in the show, as soon as Penny starts to actually have conversations with him, and he comes out of his, repressed box a little bit, he starts thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this heist and I should go talk to her. But because he's been spending so much time trying to get into the ELE, he's like, I have to do this. I'm a man. I have to be a man. And then he does the whole "a man's got to do" song.
Right.
Maybe if he had just stopped for 2 seconds and instead of trying to get into the ELE, he had just tried to get into the ELO instead.
Yes.
This would have been a completely different film, and we wouldn't have had half of the bad stuff happen.
And strangely, yet the music would be the same.
Right.
Right.
Just with more strings and more harmonies.
Right. And a little bit of more blue sky.
Yes.
I wonder how much of that is a limitation of the actors, too, because I'm not sure what kind of singing chops any of them, except for maybe, Neil Patrick Harris have. So.
I mean, NPH does Broadway stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Felicia Day seemed to have a nice voice. I mean, I think also, it's a weird thing that, I used to say about Mad Men, I think that character of Don Draper would have just been universally hated, except that John Hamm, just through, I guess, whatever he is, he kind of turned it into a character people liked. And I felt like Neil Patrick Harris has a sort of inherent likability that worked for him and worked against him, because you never quite bought that there was any real evil there, because he kind of makes him a very sympathetic, likable, nebbishy kind of guy.
Yeah.
Whereas other people might have played it like, by day, I'm a nebbishy, no one pays attention to me, I can't get a word in edgewise. But when I'm back in my lab, all that frustration boils up, and now I'm like a dangerous guy you should watch out for. There wasn't much dark side to his evil guy.
Right.
But again, like you say, that might be by design. I just felt it a little like, leaving something on the table, like it wasn't sure what it wanted to be.
Mm. Well, I mean, he's totally... At one point, there's a line where he says, in Slipping, the song where he's got Neil Patrick Harris... the song where Neil Patrick Harris has Nathan Fillion frozen, he says, "Anarchy that I run." So he clearly has no idea what he actually wants.
Well, It does say earlier something like, the world, like, we just need to get rid of all the leaders, and I just, the world would be fine if I ran it.
Right.
And I think I could see a very different character with that credo. That's a good idea for a character, but it doesn't seem to be who this character is. Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't seem like a guy who wants to take control of stuff. But
he's just an opinionated YouTuber. He's got a blog.
Yeah.
There's that fucking joke where he tries to use his freeze ray on the dedication of the superhero museum, and he blogs that's where he's going.
Right.
Yeah.
And he comes back all beat to shit.
I thought that was the best song was the one that comes right after the "Hammer's My Penis" joke, when then he gets a little mad and he sings sort of this Brand New Day, sort of a little faster paced song that's like, okay, that's it, enough of this crap, I'm gonna kick some ass. And that song ratchets up the energy level a bit. I feel like there could have been more there.
No, I agree, and I realized sitting here I haven't even gotten to say what my thoughts are. Jesus, I was sitting here, I was like, what are my thoughts? Have I?
Well, let me tell you what you think, Chris.
Go ahead. I watched this back when it was a YouTube miniseries. I'm assuming you did as well, John.
Yeah, I did.
Back in 2008, so like 7 years ago. I really enjoyed it. And rewatching it again today, having watched a fair amount of musicals this month, I realized that what this is essentially a bare bones musical with none of the polish that is present in a lot of the musicals that we watched this month. I mean, I watched Newsies earlier this week. Having never seen it before, I was convinced it was going to be awful for a number of reasons, primarily because it's Christian Bale singing. And I really enjoyed it. And with Dr. Horrible, it doesn't have any of the polish of a big budget musical. And that's fine. I understand that. But I think that due to some of the limitations, like the ones you guys have talked about, like the singing ability of some of the actors and some of the music in this, while I do like a lot of the music, some of the music is not great. Primarily anything that Felicia Day sings. And that's because of what Tim said, because it really just does feel 100% genuine and sincere when every other song in the movie doesn't feel that way. It just slows everything down to the point of you're just like, did this need to be here? Could you have put a better song in? And the songs never change. Both of her songs are kind of the same.
Well, there's also the question of like, what is her character, right? I mean, is her character just super sweet and earnest and Pollyanna, or is she meant to be a parody of that? Because I didn't quite get the parody angle. It felt like she's just supposed to be the sweetest, gosh darn nicest person on earth. And, you know, that ends up being kind of annoying. And you sort of feel bad for her as really, that's your character? Does she want anything? Does she do anything? No, she's just going to stand around and be nice and have men try to save her and fight over her, which...
Yeah, that was her only point. I agree. That is kind of sad, and it's a little off from Joss's normal, writing and stuff. I mean, she is just like a plot device. She doesn't have much to her. So yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point.
There was a rumored plot for the sequel that they keep talking about wanting to make but not having the time to because everybody's so busy.
Yeah.
And the idea was that Penny was going to come back as like a legitimately evil undead like necromancer.
Okay.
Whose objective was to punish Neil Patrick Harris and Captain Hammer.
Wow.
For getting her killed.
And then they would have to team up.
Yeah, something like that.
Because that's the typical played out route of everything ever.
I don't know.
Right? Oh, now the bad guy and the good guy have to team up. Like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know that this needs a sequel. I mean, come on. You know, it was back in 2008. There was the writer's strike going on. From what I remember, I mean, they spent maybe $200,000 to do this, and they like recorded the music in Joss's loft or some shit. I mean, it's not like there was a lot that went into it. It was just this quick little thing that they wanted to do, and it was free of normal studio controls and stuff, and so it kind of had an interesting vibe to it that you don't always get, out of something that has been passed through a bunch of other hands and edited and, tweaked for some other marketing segment or whatever bullshit. I mean, so I think it's good for what it is. And I think it'd be a mistake to like say, oh yeah, we're going to do sequels and we're going to try to milk this, just leave it for what it is. Simple little thing, came out, was fun, entertaining, and hey, it's done.
I think they need to make Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog 2 Age of Ultron. I guess using Marvel's kind of numbering scheme, it would just be Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog, Age of Ultron.
Oh my God.
With James Spader singing all the songs and no one else in the movie.
I think
just James Spader playing every single part and singing every single song.
I think he would try to sing the songs and just be constantly interrupted by the just slew of superheroes flying through the screen. I mean, yeah, there's no way that would work.
I think they just need to steal the idea from Heroes and add about 600 other people with special powers and then just get Ben Folds to write a bunch of really hurried songs that will sound similar to the sort of, hey, I've got a piano, let's sing something for 5 minutes kind of things that are there.
Right.
I've got the power to turn metal into other metals. And I'm the metal changer. And then I'm the person that can make a tripod into four-legged things. There we go.
Well, that would be my superhero power of choice. Would be quad pod man.
Quad pod is going to be huge.
Quad pod. You see that 3-legged dog? It's got 4 legs now. Quad pod.
Since they're legit with Disney now, they could do the, I got no strings to hold me down. I could see a dance number with Ultron. That'd be great.
I didn't think it was bad. I just don't want it to come off. I mean, I'm critical, but only because I think it's such a solid B. The whole thing about this is, but part of that is, it was a kind of a fun side project, and I think that's maybe the reason it has this could have gone through one more draft sort of feeling,
Right.
Yeah. Well, and for me, and this is something I've always had a problem with Joss Whedon, and I'm sorry, but for me at least, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, Joss Whedon always seems like he thinks that he's cleverer than he actually is.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And it's always, a lot of things that he's done have always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, in that he's like, I know that I'm smart, and I know that I'm being cheeky and tongue in cheek with this, so I'm just gonna do it anyways, and you'll think it's funny.
Yeah, sometimes it works against him. I agree.
Well, all I know is when we did Freaked, that was our competition. Was they were shooting Buffy the Vampire Slayer the movie at the same time. So, I've always had a sort of begrudging sort of, how come Joss Whedon was a big star?
I don't know, because Freaked is way better than that Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, that's for sure. Jesus.
Fox and the entire Western civilization seem to disagree with you.
Wow.
Well, Fox is generally wrong about a lot of stuff, so.
Yeah, Fox likes to fuck shit up constantly, to the point of... I was interviewing Matt Winston earlier this week, and I was talking about a role that he was in on a show that Fox aired 3 episodes of and then canceled. And I told him, I was like, I really enjoyed you on that show. And he was like, how did you even see that? And I was like, oh, well, because Fox released it on DVD later, after the fact, after they canceled it and only showed 3 episodes of it. Because typical Fox, they're the worst.
Well, I guess I actually think that'd be fun if they did a sequel to this, just because if they had more time and anticipation and people are actually expecting it, they might put a little more effort into it and take it to the next level, make the music a little bigger and a little edgier, and, stage the dance numbers with a little more imagination. I mean, there's stuff they could do. And I like the cast. I mean, I thought Neil Patrick Harris, again, he never turns in a bad performance, and everybody sort of showed up and did a pretty great job. I feel like the material was just like a solid, like I keep saying, like solid B- sort of stuff, but there's a lot of potential there. And I like I love the idea of doing modern musicals. I've kind of half written a couple myself, but they're much louder and angrier.
I would hope so. I'm just waiting for Freaked the musical.
I'll get right on that.
with machismo, the song about machismo.
I did, but I also wrote the song that is in Freaked, the one Freaks, that's what they call us or whatever it is. So
the one performed by Henry Rollins.
No, that's the title song or something. No, I wrote the song that the Freaks sing is their kind of Eye of the Tiger, working on their escape plan song. It has a joke about John Tesh in it, so I'm happy.
I agree with you, Tim. I like the performances in the film. They're really great. I mean, nobody feels like they're just kind of going through the motions. But I think that Felicia Day, her character is so underutilized and underdeveloped that she comes off as kind of an afterthought and pretty much just a plot device to drive the narrative of the movie. More than
or she feels like a joke that didn't quite make it into a joke. Like she almost does sound like she's supposed to be a parody of the super sweet, rescue me princess, but it doesn't quite come off as a joke. So, that seems like it's a fixable thing, but maybe they weren't sure themselves as they were plunging into it. I don't know. But because she's just so gosh darn, every song makes your teeth hurt. They're so sweet,
No, I really agree. That's my kind of one gripe, really, watching it again, is there is some variety with some of the other songs, but with her songs, there is no variety. And there are 2 songs in the first 2 parts of the film that are just her singing, and they are bland, and you're kind of checking your watch the whole time. Like, okay, I know it's 2 minutes, but it feels way longer.
They need to bring in Lady Gaga as some kind of evil superhero. That's what it means.
She's transitioning into acting now.
Oh wow,
so.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could be part of that, which would be like the coolest thing
There's
ever.
a shot at the end of the ELE, and she could probably pass as any of the chicks in that shot.
Yeah. Or possibly the horse. No, I shouldn't.
I wouldn't put it past Lady Gaga to wear a giant horse costume. Right. That is essentially just a horse. That
yeah, but with some beef stapled to the back to it for reasons we don't understand.
Oh man. Well, yeah, because at one point in that shot at the end, there's dead David Bowie or Dead Bowie, which is the one that cracks me up, which is essentially just a person who looks dead with the David Bowie makeup on.
Oh right, the Evil League of Evil. Yeah.
It's fake Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
And Professor Normal.
Nice.
See, I said, it's debatable how evil the Evil League of Evil is with Dead Bowie and fake Thomas Jefferson and Bad Horse, which is a horse. So yeah, it's kind of debatable how evil he's supposed to be shooting for here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's intentional or unintentional.
Right.
I assume that that's intentional.
Oh yeah, no, I do too. I
don't know why you would dress up somebody who's going to be in one shot as Thomas Jefferson, credit him as fake Thomas Jefferson, if that was just not intentionally.
No. What I mean is them being are they intentionally supposed to be dum-dums who aren't evil, or do you know what I mean?
I mean,
or are they supposed to be they're the legit evil of whatever universe?
I think they're supposed to be the legit. Sense? I mean, I think evil villains themselves are always kind of a funny concept. Every time you see a Bond movie, you just think, really, this is this guy's life is to live inside a mountain, coming up with giant lasers in space, and that's what he does every day. And where does he get his groceries? And what does he watch? I mean, this is your life. And I'm one of the guys who works in the giant evil mountain, building a giant laser to destroy the Earth. It just feels like such a stupid existence.
Yeah.
So I think evil villains are inherently funny because they just seem so kind of what a shitty choice of a way to spend your day.
Well, it's Hank Scorpio and The Simpsons, right? That was kind of their riff on it. Homer, if you don't mind killing someone on your way out. I mean, that was kind of their take on it, right? No, it's my issue with this is just some of the music, particularly Felicia Day's stuff, just really falls flat, and that's unfortunate because Felicia Day's, like Nathan Fillion says in the movie, she's kind of cute in a nerdy way.
Not my usual.
Not my usual.
Yeah, there were some great lines for sure.
Nathan Fillion is a pretty big dick. He can play a dick. He can play a dick really well. For a guy who for 99% of the roles he plays is just that guy you want to hang out with. In this, he plays the dick really well.
I thought the one thing they left hanging was they set up the Johnny Snow character that wants to be his nemesis. And I expected a callback to that at some point, that would be maybe what would screw things up in the final scene was, this wannabe nemesis has also showed up at the same event and gets in the middle of things. So I felt
that would have been good.
Left hanging, but
that would have been good.
There's they did 3 one-off comic books set in the Dr. Horrible world.
Oh,
and
wow.
One of them is Johnny Snow saving that park that Dr. Horrible talks about from a couple members of the ELE. Because the ELE digs a hole in the park and breaks open a oil main and then sets fire to it, and Johnny Snow saves the town by freezing the fire.
Wow, okay.
It's fucking insane.
See, this is why they leave it alone. Don't come up with all this extra crap.
Yeah, right? Sometimes less really is more.
Yeah, like I said, it's sing-along blog. Come on, you don't want to try to add too much to it because you completely detract from that. Okay, we're sitting in front of a webcam and filming this, sort of feel. So yeah, we don't need all the extra, stuff from it. We don't need Dr. Horrible action figures or shit coming out of this,
I know someone who, if there was one, would buy one. John.
I own the comic books.
Oh, nice.
Oh. John is the mark here. He is very much the mark, an absolute mark for Dr. Horrible.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Well, I got to get started writing a musical then, apparently.
Now you know what
Yes.
John likes, so just make it that, and he'll love it.
As long as I sell one doll, it's a success. That and Quad Pod. I think, our work here is done.
Right. Tim and I need to get started on Quad Pod, guys. So need to figure out what Quad Pod is and what drives him to make three-legged things
His
into
parents
four.
were killed by a tripod. I think that's pretty obvious.
His parents weren't killed by a tripod. They were killed by that thing, like the one-legged thing you can put the camera on.
Monopod, yeah.
Monopod.
Which is great. It's great somebody
Unipod?
else came up with a name for a stick. It's not a stick. It's a monopod.
It's a multi-utility monopod.
It's a stick with a bolt on the end that you can attach a camera to, okay? It's a little more complicated than just a stick.
Yeah.
So it's a stick with a hole in the top that has threads in it. Oh, what a time to be alive.
It's amazing what they can do nowadays.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. Starting with Tim, skip it or watch it. Best performance and favorite song.
Watch it. It's fun. Best performance, be a tie between Nate Fillion and Neil Patrick Harris. I think Nate Fillion I'll give the edge to. And favorite song is, I don't know what the song's called. I think it's called Brand New Day, or
that's it.
It's the one he sings, Dr. Horrible sings when he's determined to kick some ass.
And then he crushes Nathan Fillion under his foot.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah. Godzilla style.
But it could have used
about
more
you,
Metallica.
Oh, I would love if all of a sudden in the middle of this there was just Metallica sitting on a couch discussing their feelings with a psychologist.
I just love what that kind of speed death metal, whatever they call Cookie Monster vocals. One song like,
is that an actual term? Cookie Monster vocals? Oh, man.
That's what it needed, I think, at that spot. But otherwise, great stuff.
Cookie Monster vocals and some crabcore, maybe. I would have enjoyed that. So, what about you, Russ?
Definitely watch it. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's out there for free everywhere. It was on Netflix for a while. I think they pulled it. I'm not sure, but I know you can find it on the net. So it's definitely worth a watch. It's fun. Best performance.
Yeah, it was free. I mean, it was free when it came out.
Yeah, they put it out on Hulu, and then they released the DVD, and I think they did it without all the region nonsense, bullshit that normally would have gotten put on. And so, yeah, it was easily accessible. And it still is. So, yeah, no reason not to watch this. And it's fun. Best performance, I'm going to go with Bad Horse. And favorite song, these songs have names? Really? Fuck, what?
Bad Horse Chorus?
They do have names, which is surprising.
Yeah, I didn't really get that far into my research there.
What part of the movie is your favorite song in?
Well, let's see.
I got the list open here and I know them all. So
I liked the.
You don't need the list open, John. Don't even pretend.
I liked the song with the groupies in it because the groupies were freaking hilarious.
So They Say is what that's called.
So They Say? Okay, well then
that's not even like a song title.
But they're like, we do the weird stuff. Yeah, that's just awesome.
Yeah, that was a good gag.
Yeah. So, yep.
What about you, John? Oh, no, go. Actually, hold on.
I was going to say, that's it. That's the song.
You have a best performance, or did I just miss it?
He said Bad Horse.
That's right. I forgot. You did say that.
Because he's bad.
Yeah.
What about you, John?
Best performance, I think I have to go with Neil Patrick Harris. I like Nathan Fillion a lot, and I liked his character, but I think Neil Patrick Harris had a little more range with his character. Best song is hard for me to pick. I like most, if not all of them. My Eyes, I guess, is the one I'm going to go with. That's the one where he's talking about he doesn't know if anybody would notice if he poisoned a water main. It's like the duet that Nate, NPH, and Felicia Day have. But I want to give honorable mention to the Bad Horse chorus because they're pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
It's essentially just a chorus that sings the words of the letter Bad Horse sent, and they're wearing like cowboy outfits and talking about how Bad Horse is gonna fuck Neil Patrick Harris if he messes up.
And that's the Whedon brothers, right? That's Joss.
One of them is. I don't know if all three of them are.
I know one of them's his brother that wrote the music, so.
Bad Horse chorus is Nick Town, Jed Whedon, and Rob Reines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jed Whedon, who's Joss Whedon's brother, his wife wrote it along with them, and she plays one of those groupies.
Asian groupie.
Yeah, I didn't notice her race, John. I'm not racist.
I noticed because on the DVD they have a commentary that follows the DVD that is written as another separate musical called Commentary the Musical. And she has a whole song where she talks about how Hollywood doesn't like to cast Asians as anything.
Whatever, just try to justify your racism, John. Go ahead.
Thank you, Russ. As for me, I'm going to say a definite watch it. There are some things that obviously bugged us, but overall, I think it's worth checking out. It's also only 40 minutes, so it's not a huge time commitment, and it is on YouTube in its entirety. I would know that's where I watched it earlier today. Best performance, I think I have to go with Neil Patrick Harris. God, that's a hard one. They're both so interesting as characters that I think you almost kind of have to give it to both of them and just say the rules don't matter. But definitely Neil Patrick Harris. So, and best song, I have to agree with Tim. I think that the initial driving bass of Brand New Day at the beginning is so wildly different from the rest of the music that it makes that song very exciting, and it sets it apart from the other songs in the movie. So
you have to agree with me is basically the bottom line.
Yeah, that too, because we are working on Quad Pod, so I have to agree with you. Otherwise, you'll take half the idea.
That's right.
And then you'll
steal Quad Pod from me.
And Quintapod would just be stupid.
Yeah.
Quintapod.
Pentapod sounds better.
Pentapod, yeah.
Pentapod. That's a good one. Yeah, that might even be better than Quad Pod.
Let's not write the sequel yet. Hexapod's coming after that.
This isn't quite an arms race, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, right. And normally we talk about what Rotten Tomato thinks about the film, but because it wasn't released on TV or in theaters, there is no there is no Rotten Tomatoes rating for the film. So I could only assume it would be insanely high because at least the user rating would be.
Well, I know it won a Hugo, so I mean it got some, and maybe an Emmy or something. I don't know. It
did win an Emmy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it got some.
And it was also named top 15 in Time's top 50 inventions of 2008.
Inventions?
I don't know what the fuck
like the
that
fucking
means.
freeze ray?
We invented the musical. We invented the fucking musical, guys. Jesus Christ. First they gave Al Gore the internet, and now Joss Whedon invented fucking musicals. Jesus Christ.
Oh, he invented the sing.
Hi, my name is Joss Whedon, and I invented musicals.
Oh, wow, yeah.
What does that even mean?
I think they thought the freeze ray was real.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, because it was because it was a direct to web piece of content. Because mind you, in 2008, direct to web was a novel concept.
Right.
So yeah. Oh, what 7 years will change.
I'm just really thinking about how much I wasted my time during the writer's strike. Clearly, Joss Whedon's a much harder working guy than me.
Well, he invented the musical. So.
Right.
There you go. Oh, geez. So before we talk about next week's show, Tim, is there anything you want to plug?
Plug? Yeah, there's a hole out back of the house.
Such a corporate term.
Yeah, there's a manhole around the back of my house. Need somebody to look into it. Yeah, I mean, there's a Thanksgiving movie that Jim Henson Company's got called Turkey Hollow that I wrote and co-wrote, subject to WGA arbitration, and that's going to be good. And Terrific Trucks, a kids show, which is coming out on Sprout, has a rockin' theme song I wrote. So So you can hear my rock and musical prowess on that when it shows up on NBC later, maybe this year, I think. So that's it for now.
What about you, Russ?
I don't have a whole lot going on other than trying to write more books. So expect a lot in 2016 because at the end of 2016 I should have a sequel to Crimson Sun out. But between now and then I've got a more traditional fantasy series that I'm working on, and it's not quite traditional, I guess. I guess the elevator pitch would be Kafka meets Tolkien on the Ganges. That's the quick one. It's about a bug man that is raised by human monks in a far-flung monastery, and his weird life that sort of comes from that. So, but that's going to be due out next year. I got a little bit of time before I'm really ramping up on that. So that's all I got. Nothing like right around the corner.
Well, and you had me right at Bugman.
Yes,
so.
Bugman.
You had me at Tolkien on the Ganges.
I was hoping it was Tolkien on the ganja, but take what we can get. Bugman with on the ganja. What about you, John?
My Facebook is John Lein. Nope, not my Facebook. My Twitter is John Lein1. But that's all I got. I'm not established creators like these guys.
That's not true. You can check out your movie reviews once a week normally at cultureshock.com.
I'm a professional.
That's what I say to people when they ask me. I'm a professional, sir. As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Kulturestash. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And next month we're going to be talking about horror movies all month. We got the normal Monday, Thursday podcast. We also have some pretty exciting bonus Wednesday podcasts. That's coming back just for a month because we have a lot of people we talk to for next month. Like John said, it's a lot. Like a lot. So next Monday, we're going to be talking about Creep, which came out earlier this year. It was directed by Patrick Bryce, who I got to speak with. And it is a low-budget horror movie that it kind of plays with the genre a little bit. So make sure to check that one out.
Disappeared as a moral dilemma, cause at first it was weird, though I swore to eliminate the worst of the plague that devoured humanity. It's true, I was vague on the how, so how can it be that you have shown me the light? It's a brand new day, and the sun is high, all the birds are singing that you're gonna die.